What do you call this type of outdoor water source? Do you call it a faucet, a spigot, a spigot, or a hydrant? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I have always called this a spigot. This type of spigot in cold winter temperatures can freeze and bust, or should I say burst. Because of that, we always made it a point to wrap our spigot in an old towel or old blanket in cold winter weather. Sometimes we would put an upside down trash can over the spigot. Sometimes we would run an extension cord out to the spigot and use a light bulb or heat strip to keep the spigot from freezing in cold weather. These days, on my house in the North Georgia mountains, I have one of these. It is relatively freeze-proof because the actual valve is located inside the wall. The part you see on the outside of the house drains when it is turned off, so there's no water outside the wall to freeze. So it is relatively freeze-proof. But what if you need water farther away from the house, maybe by your driveway or at a chicken coop or barn or workshop? You may want one of these. I just installed one in early 2024. The manufacturer calls it a frost-proof yard hydrant. The actual valve that turns the water on and off is located 2 feet underground. So here in our North Georgia climate, that is fine. That is not going to freeze. When we lift the lever to turn this water on, the valve 2 feet underground opens up and allows the water to flow up the vertical pipe. This freeze-proof hydrant won't freeze and bust, and it can be used all year round, even in cold weather. Watch for the delay when I turn this on. On, wait for it, there's the water. There's a delay because that vertical pipe had no water in it. It took a moment for the water to go from the valve body 2 feet underground up through the pipe and out. And when I turn it off, a special drain opens up and allows that water to flow out of the pipe. Typically, the valve body is surrounded by gravel to allow that water to escape and eventually work its way into the soil. My main concern with this type hydrant is this. Suppose the main valve develops a leak and the water leaks out that drain hole into the ground. This hydrant could leak for a long period of time without you realizing there is a leak. Or suppose that drain hole gets clogged. Then the vertical pipe and the hydrant could be full of water and freeze and bust after all. I wanted some way to know, some way to look at the drain and the gravel and see what's happening. This looks like a good location for a shut-off valve, but that's not what this is. There is a shut-off valve, but it's located under the house. This is actually an inspection opening so I can look at that drain and look at that gravel. This piece of 4-inch PVC, it extends 3 feet into the ground. Let's take a look. There we go, 3 feet down is the gravel bed that the water flows into. 2 feet down is the drain from this frost-proof hydrant. The water is draining because I just turned off the hydrant. So I'm glad to have this special feature with my hydrant. If you install one of these frost-proof hydrants, you may want to do this as well. Thank you for watching.